One other final thing you may have noticed in the Apology, and this is also in a dialogue called the Crito, is that Socrates dies innocently, but he dies forgiving his enemies, very much like Jesus. Now, this is before Jesus. He dies in 399 BC. And Socrates has a very famous quote. He says, and one I've been pondering sort of for the last 20 years. He says, and it's one of these quotes that you can think about all the time, and you want it to be true. Sometimes it doesn't feel true. And the quote goes like this: "It's better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice. It's better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice. It's better to undergo injustice than to commit injustice." Now, why does he say that? Think about that for a second. Is it just a kind of thing you tell yourself to feel better? Or is there actually some truth to this? Well, Socrates and Plato thought, well, it's better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice, because when you suffer injustice, people can't harm you. That is your soul. They can harm your body. They can even kill your body. They can kill Socrates. They can kill Jesus. People can harm you in all kinds of different ways. They can harm your reputation. They can harm your physical body. But they can't harm your soul. Only you can harm your soul. That is, when you commit injustice, when you do bad things, that harms your soul. Okay? And so there again is that distinction between appearance and reality, or the body and the soul. And philosophy is practicing for death. And I think this quote, or this adage, if you will, this maxim, it's better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice, really highlights what Plato and Socrates are talking about here, that philosophy is about the soul. And, take heart when someone does something wrong to you, because they can't really hurt you. They can hurt your body, your reputation, whatever, but they can't hurt your soul. Only you can hurt your soul. And evil is what hurts the soul. Okay, so I remember somebody telling me this one time when I was complaining to him, another philosophy, I think it was in grad school. I was complaining to him how someone had mistreated me, and he said, yeah, man, it's like Socrates says, better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice. And I thought, what a liberating thing, right? Better to be harmed than to harm, right? Because when you harm, you participate, and you let it infect you. It's kind of an analog here in Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, or Sermon on the Plain in Luke, Matthew 5 and Luke 6, respectively, where he says, if someone hits you on one cheek, turn the other also. If someone wants to take away your goods, give them everything that you want. In other words, they can't harm you. You can harm you in the deepest sense of the soul.